If you had to choose between time or money, which do you think will lead to greater happiness? I recently read this book called Happy Money, The Science of Happier Spending by Dr. Elizabeth Dunn and Dr. Michael Norton, which, by the way, the Amazon link to the book is in the description, so if you want to read more details about the topic, I recommend this book to you today. Anyways, this book is pretty interesting, and in particular, I found a lot of learning where it claimed that if you want happiness as fast as possible, you should invest in gaining more time than money. In this channel, you'll be able to learn about these interesting and highly educational information on science and psychology, as I'll be explaining it using scholarly articles and studies. If this interests your brain, please enjoy the rest of the video and make sure to like, subscribe, and share the content. Today's study was done in 2015 at University of British Columbia by Dr. Elizabeth Dunn. Across 6 different studies that collected a total of 4,690 participants, it asked them questions like, would you choose to live in an apartment that is pricey but close to work, or a cheap apartment far from work? Would you work at a job that pays well but makes you stay long, or a job that doesn't pay well but you can go home quickly? Think about your answers for a sec. Okay, so the results showed 4 important things. 1. People who chose time over money had a greater level of overall happiness. 2. There were no gender differences that significantly affected the results of the study. 3. This value you put on time and money individually doesn't significantly change over your lifetime. 4. The older you get, the greater value you put towards having more time than money. Pretty interesting, isn't it? According to the analysis, those who value time more than money spent more time in their life thinking about the frugality of their life, and therefore realized that the time they had in this world must be spent productively and joyfully, so they start taking action in small quantities to make it even more worthwhile. As a result, these people are able to have an overall greater positive emotion towards life when compared to those who value money more than time. Researchers have also commented that people should intensely work on the endeavor to prioritize time over money if they want a satisfying and fulfilling life, and they should do this almost to a fault. My current self firmly belongs in the younger camp of human life, but I have seen many studies, even outside of this book, talking about prioritizing time over money in order to achieve life satisfaction. And during that research process, have come across another interesting book called Time Smart: How to Reclaim Your Time and Live a Happy Life by Ashley Whillans. The author of the book is a professor at Harvard Business School who has been researching the concept of time and satisfaction. Her main topic of study is about whether people get life satisfaction from time or money, to which she replies with the same answer: time, time, and time. In the book, Time Smart, the most interesting insight I found was, if you value money over time, how much money would you need to earn to feel the same level of happiness as if you value time over money? This is a popular topic of debate in the economic field, and this book provides an answer, so let's check it out. Point 1. People who value time over money had an emotional satisfaction level equivalent of earning an extra $4,400 annually. 2. People who outsource tasks they dislike to others gained happiness level that equate to earning an additional $10,000 annually. According to the book, by prioritizing time over money, you can gain an immense amount of mental benefit. I mean, seriously, this is amazing. You can earn a potential $10,000 worth of happiness and life satisfaction just by making other, more capable people do your work. Professor Whillans have also found that people who prioritize time over money are better at forming new social relationships and are able to rest better, thus are more effective and creative. Looking at evidence like these, you can easily understand that prioritizing time leads to an increased productivity. Although I've said in the previous video you should prioritize managing your mind over your time, when it comes to time or money, you should definitely prioritize managing your time. Now, this should all make sense in our head, but many of us have trouble following this rule. Why is that? Why do we so often prioritize money? Some reasons include, because the current society cannot live without earning money, the value of it often goes out of proportion. The second reason is due to the common belief that money equates success. The third reason is because money can be easily understood as a numerical value, therefore we can easily imagine the feeling when we attain it. This all makes sense. Compared to an hour worth of free time, which the value differs depending on how we use it, free money of say $10,000, the value is much easier to measure. Also, in the modern society, it's often difficult to imagine an economical value other than having money, but there are still some hunter-gatherer societies which values poorness as more valuable. So within these societies, the effect of the study might work differently, perhaps in a positive way. But what should we, those who are watching this video, do to solve this issue? How can we prioritize time over money and become happier? 3 possible solutions are introduced. 1. Develop a proactive time. Pick a task that's essential to your life but isn't your top priority, and schedule a time in your day to focus on doing that task. The key indicator is important but unurgent. For me, that's like reading books. You should first spend around 30 minutes per week and think about what you can do that'll hugely impact your life, but you don't have to do it immediately, and then spend like 2 hours twice a week to do that activity. And like always, alternate when felt necessary. 2. Ask yourself whether you should prioritize money or time during small-scale decisions. This is mainly to keep a conscious self and practice mindfulness at all times. These seemingly harmless conundrums can have huge impacts if we have to constantly think about it. 3. Personal favorite. Think of prioritizing time as purchasing time to help others. This is a method of reframing your idea of buying time. In case you might feel a little awkward or guilty of the concept to buy time, you should think of it as letting others do your work and letting others gain further experience. Of course, you shouldn't abuse this feeling and make others do all of your work, but this point is primarily towards those who feel repulsive of the concept to buy time. Today's recommended video from this channel you should watch after this one is called The Pomodoro Technique. This is a 2-parter series about the scientifically proven concentration technique. Without spoiling anything, I'll say that literally anyone can do this without any money spending, and performing this technique to experience its effects can also be done by anyone, and the only thing you have to invest is like time. Another video I recommend you watch is called The Science of Pet Loss, what you can do to accept and move forward. The topic of this video follows what I've mentioned about how you'll value more time than money by thinking about the eventual end of yourself and those around you, specifically pets in this video. By consciously thinking about the day when you will no longer be able to spend time with your pets or your family and friends, it helps you put more value in the time you're allowed to spend with them. Not by overcoming the loss, but by accepting their existence. You'll be able to move forward as a better and wiser person. If you're interested, check out my recommended videos and the many more content from Life Study Library. I've been your host, Lye Yosh. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share to others that this source exists.